Making this real quick for guys having problems with their one-way bearings locking up. To be honest, I have probably close to 1,000 videos on YouTube of 600s. I've been flying these things for maybe 4.5 years now, like 4.5 years straight. And you know, I used to have the one-way bearing lockup problem when I first started, and then I had a guy point out, you know, why I'm having a problems with them locking up. And it's because I was tightening up the bottom bolt, you know, the Jesus bolt down here. I was tightening it up way too much. Here, I mean, look how smooth this spins. I mean, this spins so nice. You know, I have like zero drag whatsoever on my blades and everything. Like no drag at all. And here, if you look, a lot of people want to tighten it up to where as soon as you touch the blades, the gears move. You do not want to do that. That's why people are having issues with the one-ways locking up, is they want to take and they want to just crank on that bottom bolt until, you know, there's like no slop. And you know, when you spin the rotor head, and I mean here, if you look at mine, here I'll turn the blade. If you look at the grip right here and look at the gears, you can see hang on a second. You can see I could turn mine. I could wiggle it and everything. And you don't see my hang on, easier way to do it is like this. Here, see there? You don't see either of my gears moving at all. You know, with that much movement, and when I move the rotor head, and I mean, that's not a problem at all. I mean, once the blades are spinning, you know, everything's loaded up, and it's not going to hurt anything. And here, I'm going to show you. Okay, where's my bolt at? Right there. Okay. I could take 2 fingers and turn it. I mean, I'm like barely even moving it. See that? I mean, you just want to turn it until it just starts to get tight. Like right there is perfect. You know, there's on the other side, on the nut. If you look at the nut on there, it's a nylon nut. It's a locking nut, and you know, once the threads go into that nylon nut, it's not gonna back out on you. I mean, you don't have to worry about it backing out or anything like that. You know, I've been flying them for years like this. See there? I mean, just like the tips of my finger. You know, that's how loose I run mine. You know, just snug it. That's all you have to do. And you can see, again, you know, the gear won't move. You know, there's a little bit of play in there, which is perfectly fine. It's normal. You know, nothing's gonna get hurt. You know, like I said, once the helicopter is, you know, spooled up, it's loaded up. The whole drivetrain's loaded up. So technically, there's no slop once it loads up on you. I mean, if you guys just back that Jesus bolt out just a little bit and just finger tighten it, you know, like I showed you, you won't have any problems with the bearing ever locking up again. And on this here, my 600 EFL Pro, I now have easily over 150 flights on this, and you can see, I mean, everything is smooth as butter. I mean, that's how smooth you just tap it. There's like no drag whatsoever, none, on my drivetrain. And the best thing to do is, if you do have one that's locking up, don't replace the one-way bearing. replace the sleeve that slides down into the one-way bearing that the bolt and everything goes through, that the auto gear, you know, slides up on. That's what you want to replace. It's not the bearing that's messed up, it's the sleeve. What happens is guys are tightening that Jesus bolt up way too much, and it's kind of like ovaling the sleeve. And when the sleeve is ovaled, it's not round and it's not catching all the bearings anymore. It's just catching like 2 or 3 bearings on each end that's bent. So I mean, you just want to replace that sleeve and put a new sleeve in it and just snug that Jesus bolt up. That's all you have to do. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be tight. It doesn't even have to be like close to tight. Just barely snug it with 2 fingers, you know, or even with a L-handled Allen wrench. You know, you just want to just take your fingers and put it on there. Once you start filling it to even start to tighten up, that's enough. You know, don't go any further with it, and you will not have any lockups or anything like that. And I'm running the stock Align one-way bearing grease in mine. You know, and I have not touched this thing, and like I said, you know, 150-ish flights. You know, and I do really hard stops. Like I do these Riva walls, and if this thing was going to lock up, it would definitely lock up on me doing that. I mean, I'm not a pro or anything like that, but I do fly mine a lot harder, you know, than most people do that are having an issue with the bearing locking up. So, I mean, with as many people as having a bearing locking up, you know, I mean, I've seen a lot of new guys even having a bearing lock up. You know, and I've helped them out, and once I showed them how to tighten that Jesus bolt up, they've never had an issue with that one-way ever locking up again. You know, some guys aren't getting past like a couple of flights in this locking up. You know, I wish I could run into some of you guys to help you out, man, but I mean, honestly, just barely tighten that bolt up. You know, once it starts to even feel like it's tightening up, leave it. It's done. It's tight. All right. I hope it helps.